lips. So, I'm on one today. I have been thinking. So, to preface what I'm going to talk about, men. So, I recently, like this summer, I was on social media. I haven't been on social media for like the past 5 years. And so, I decided to dabble. I'm like, yeah, let me see what I've been missing. Turns out, not much, right? So, the only thing I got back on Instagram for a while. Instagram and then Threads. So Threads to me is like Twitter before Twitter stopped being cool. And I would engage in conversations, and I noticed that lately there's just been this shift between or a rift, even a divide between men and women. They say men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and it's abundantly evident on social media that women are just fucking over men, and the way men want to treat us. Like, we're just over men's opinions. We're just over men in general. And then men wonder why there's a male loneliness epidemic. But anyway, so I'm a pretty outspoken person, and I would be on there stating my opinion, which I'm prone to do. And I did have a couple pictures of myself posted on there, like a couple full body pics. And obviously, if I was concerned about people's opinions of the way I looked, I wouldn't post my body online. Like, if I was concerned about people's opinions, I wouldn't put myself out there for people to judge, because that's what people are going to do. And so there was this one post, right? For example, it's like, this guy made a post, and he's like, something about being able to lift a woman. It's like being a woman. It's like being able to lift a woman is cool, but being a woman you can lift is cooler, or some dumb shit. Basically, like fat shaming. And so I was just like, well, so I made like a tongue-in-cheek comment. I was just like, well, if you can't lift me, then lower your voice when you talk to me and avoid eye contact or something. Just some like tongue-in-cheek comment, right? And oh my God, the way that men tried to come for me on that, it's like they reposted pictures of myself that I had posted, and they're like, I know you fucking lying. So it's like, I guess because I'm not this small, I'm not this big around, that I'm not allowed to have opinions or say things like that. It's like, it was wild to me that I'm just like on the internet, in my opinion, like everybody else does. But because I don't look a certain way, it's just like the way that men try to come for my looks because I just made this tongue-in-cheek comment. It was wild to me. And like I said, I've been off social media for a while. Like, I took a break for 5 years, and I just decided to like dip my toe back in the sand, and then I'm like, ooh, yikes, like this is no fun. And so of course, I am not the type of person that will, like, if we're having an argument or something, I'm not the type of person that will come for your looks. I will come for your intellect. Like, I'm gonna make you feel stupid. I'm gonna make you feel so dumb that you're gonna wish that you never even spoke to me at all. Like, I will dismantle any argument you have. So like, coming for somebody's looks is it's like low-hanging fruit. For one, it's very low-hanging fruit, and two, it's just like, the patriarchy sucks. It sucks for women, it sucks for men. And I believe that we've all been spoon-fed these lies, especially about how, about how a woman was made from a man's rib cage and all that. No, men have nipples, because they came from women. I put it in a poem I wrote. A Y is a broken X chromosome that didn't make the cut. That's why men have nipples. They started out as us. So if you really want to get technical about it, female is the default gender. But men out here acting like because their genitalia hangs low and because they run on testosterone, that somehow they are above the person that created them, the person that gave their body. And so that's why I wrote a poem about it. I said that was the preface to the poem that I just wrote. So that's what I'm about to share. In what reality could the creator of life be convinced she didn't come first? I wasn't made from the remains of a man's rib cage. He held from my womb. Now isn't that a damn shame? To treat the ones who created you as lower than dirt, when without our bodies you wouldn't walk this earth. Thanking our Father for everything you've been given, but forgetting that what makes a father are women. Bitches, hoes, sluts, whores, females. Is that any way to speak to the reason you exist? Is that the same mouth you use to give your mother a kiss? I bet you want a freak in the sheets and a lady in the streets. You want the skills of a porn star who's simultaneously saving herself for me. In reality, women are the true heads of house. They maintain the family when you're done playing house. You've deluded yourself into thinking that you can lead and protect because your genitalia hangs and you run on testosterone. But the truth is you're inept. And so that's just my perspective being around men. And a lot of people can be like, oh, well, you hate men. And I hate that the way men treat women. I hate that men treat women. I hate that men don't worship women. Women should be worshipped because women are the reason we all exist. If women weren't out here giving up our bodies and sacrificing our health, the world wouldn't even be here. Nobody would even be here if it weren't for women. Yeah, men do their part. But what the equivalent of you jizzing into a sock, which you've been doing since you were 14 years old, is not equivalent to 9 months of a woman, gestating and then giving birth. The roles in creation are not equivalent. And that's why I say that sex between men and women is not equivalent. So, and a lot of people want to call, that's why I always say, get your money, get something from a man, don't give him nothing for free. And a lot of people want to call it prostitution, you want to call it whatever, you want to call it XYZ. You know what they say, right? Well, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? But it's a problem when the milk start costing, ain't it? Ooh, ain't that about a bitch? It's a problem when the milk start costing. And like I say, sex between men and women is not equivalent. Okay, you feel like you're getting something because it's something that feels good, but the one being penetrated is inherently more vulnerable. So you're the one being penetrated. You're in a position where it's like you're in a submissive position. You're in a position where a man can easily choke the life out of you. Not to mention the fact, yeah, we can both get STDs, but women are the only ones that leave that encounter with the possibility of carrying that man's seed. So that's why I always say, I have this friend and she's like, well, don't look at me crazy for getting stuff from men, that want to have sex with me. I'm like, I look at you crazier if you telling me that you giving a man pussy for free. Because where do they do that at? Like I said, it's not equivalent. Sex between men and women, they're not equivalent. And yeah, it might feel great. You might feel like you're getting something. He might even make you come. Ooh, congratulations. But they're just not equivalent. I wrote a poem about that too. Let me read that since I'm on one. Okay. If well-behaved women rarely make history, I'm sure to go down in it a glittering contradiction. How is it a man's world when they come from women. A Y is a broken X chromosome that couldn't make the cut. That's why men have nipples. They started out as us. They dare to disrespect us, abuse us, feel they're entitled to our bodies, expect us to submit, want us to give them everything, but refuse to commit anything but sins. Sex is great for men and dangerous for women. To be in a vulnerable position and feel someone's hand around your throat. Imagine running a marathon at the same time as being choked by someone bigger, physically stronger, and easily provoked. It's inherently more risky for women, added to the shared burden of bearing their children and being shamed no matter what you do. There's no right decision. So fuck what a man says. They forgot where they came from. I don't care what anyone says. God is a woman. And these are just my experiences from just life, you know, just life, that women are treated in general so badly by men when they wouldn't even be here without us. You know, women are the reason that all of this exists. You know, there was something else. But yeah, that's just what I'm on. But yeah, so men on the internet they just be on one, and they don't know that I am a wordsmith. I am a poet. I have been a poet since I was about 6 or 7 years old. This is my lifelong talent. It manifested in me at a very young age. I didn't write for probably 20 years. I was so caught up in the struggle, so caught up in life that I forgot I had gifts, that I forgot I had talent. And now, like, I have this. I just started writing in this. It's like, you should always be pinning your thoughts down. I just got this one. That's why it's mostly blank. But I have this. I have a dream journal. I have planners. Just lots of things that I use to write my thoughts in. And I've been doing it, like, I've been doing this shit since I was a kid. So when I say that I will, like, dismantle you from the inside, that's why I don't have to go for people's looks. Like, I don't care if you like Jabba the Hutt. If you say some dumb shit, I'm not about to say, you know, well, you look like Jabba the Hutt, because that's easy. Like I said, that's low hanging fruit. I will make you feel so dumb. Like, I put it in one of my poems. I bet you feel small and you wish you never came for me at all, but you're too little and you're too late. Like, a wordplay is what I do. It's like, I'll run you like a relay. I'll go sell you on eBay. You can't fuck with me, babe. Like, this is what I do. So when I tell you that I will dismantle your establishmentarianism, that's what I do. And men are the only ones that ever try to come for me like that. So it's like, you know, women generally are just much more chill. I don't usually have problems with women, but men I have problems with. And it's starting to wonder at this point in my life if I could ever be happy with a man, if I could ever be happy in a relationship with a man. Like, I like men biologically, and what I mean by that is I like the physicality of men. I like having sex with men. I mean, sure, it's great, it feels good, but I haven't had sex in 2.5 years. I've been abstinent. I have been celibate from sex because these men are not worthy. No man at this point in time in my life, no man has been willing to do or is willing to do what I would require of him. Because when I tell you that the pussy is on a fucking pedestal, it's like, it's unreachable. Nobody can even get to it. And, you know, I wish I had been like this my whole life. But, you know, you live and you learn. I've been through so many experiences that led me to be the person I am today. And if I wasn't, you know, if I wasn't the person I am now, I wouldn't be on here, you know, with this knowledge that I have. But I have another one. I have another poem I'm about to drop. This is some hot shit, let me tell you. I wrote this whenever I broke up with my ex, and he was one of these ones. Let me see. So he was 40 years old, and not 4. If it sounded like I said 4, I didn't. He was 40 years old. He was not shit. When I tell you this man wasn't shit, He wasn't shit. He was a 40-year-old man who lived with his mama and worked at Amazon. But I let it slide. You know why? Because the dick was dacking. And y'all know what I'm talking about. So it's like, but I knew he wasn't shit. He knew he wasn't shit. But because of circumstances, it was just one of those things. We worked together. It felt good. You know, it was just one of these circumstantial things. We were playing house. That's basically that relationship. We were playing house. We were pretending like we were going to be something, but we knew that we weren't. And then at the end of the day, I walked away feeling used because, well, that's my fault. Because, you know, people treat you how you allow them to treat you. So it's like, all right, this is a good analogy I like to use. You got to check shit at the door, right? So you're the bouncer at the club. And you see somebody coming, you know, they got that thing on them. Like, you know, they packing heat, right? Are you just going to let them in without checking them? And then complain that they don't show up at the club? Or are you going to be like, hold on there, partner, let me stop you right here. You're not finna come in here with all that. And you got to do like that to people that want to mistreat you, because otherwise it's like you have to take accountability for your complicity in the way people treat you. It's like, of course, we've all been treated in ways in which we don't deserve, and that's not our fault, but allowing it to happen, like, okay, the first time you get a pass, like the first time somebody does something, that's not on you. But allowing it to continue, like, what's that one saying? Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, fuck a peace sign, load the chopper, let it rain on you. It's like you cannot entirely blame somebody else for the way that you let them treat you. And that's what I did. And I was so angry. I was so mad, and I ate off of that for months. I wrote so many poems off of that it just like I fed off of the negativity of it. But at the end of the day, the person I was really mad at was myself for allowing myself to be treated in a certain way. Because, you know, everybody's always like, know your worth and add tax. Well, not only did I not know my worth, but I put myself on the fucking discount store and put 50% off. And then had the audacity to be mad that somebody treated me like I was on sale for half off. Like I was on the clearance rack when I done put myself there. So, I am at the point in life where I take accountability for things. And it's like, I am at the center of everything that happens to me. Everything that happens to me, I can't always control how other people treat me, but I can control if they continue to treat me that way. I just cut off a bitch that I thought was my best friend, and you know, I was talking about that the other day. I just cut her off because the way that she was treating me does not align with the person that I know I am and the way that I deserve to be treated. And it's like, I'm not even mad. I don't even get mad no more. Because you can't get to me that much. You can't get to me to the point where you can get me out of my character. And if you can get me out of my character, that means I need to take a step back because you've gotten too close. Like, you've gotten too close. That means I have a chink in my armor. And that means that you done slid in and stabbed me. And, you know, I always talk about that in a lot of my poems. I say, you better pray for strength, because I prey on weakness. I'll cut through your armor, holes in your defense. I was out there slipping. I was out there not wearing, like, the spiritual armor, like the armor of God that I know I'm supposed to be wearing. People out here slipping. And I've been out here slipping. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I'm only human. Like, I put it in another poem. I got a poem for everything. And if I don't, there's one coming soon. It's like, I'm a goddess walking amongst humans with souls tainted by earthly pollution, intermingling energies in a state of diffusion, not here to weave you any optical illusions. So and this is how I communicate. I'm not gonna sit on a therapist's couch and be like, well, this shit happened to me when I was a kid and this is why I am the way I am. I'm not one to talk about how I feel. I like to let shit slide, because ain't nothing in life that serious. You know, you can take this shit serious as you want. You're gonna die anyway. You still gonna die. Like, what's the point of taking this shit serious? Take it as serious as you want. Take it as serious as a heart attack if you want to. You're not gonna make it out alive. Add a Q&A sticker. Why the fuck would I do that? Sorry, this live thing keeps popping up with shit. Like, so I started my YouTube in September, and the whole point is I want to get to the point of monetization, because I don't work no more. I have a mantra: I don't work for things, things work for me. I'm trying to put this to work for me, right? But I just got to the point of having enough subscribers that I could go live. So before, I would just do like these short videos, and now I'm to the point where I can go live and have longer videos where I can just talk, and it's like a sounding board where, and then, you know, sometimes when I forget who I am, when I forget I'm that bitch, and I start feeling like I'm a victim, and that's when I know something's wrong, because I'm not a victim. One thing in life I am not is a victim. I've been through a lot of shit that wanted to make me a victim, but I am not. So when I start forgetting who I am, it's like, because when you get out of the matrix, right? That's a good analogy, because everybody's saying the matrix. When you get out of the matrix, it wants to drag you back so bad. And so it will use the things you love against you. And then, like, I talk about a lot, like the angel and the devil on your shoulder. So I look at it like the angel on your shoulder is trying to take you to heaven, right? And the devil on your shoulder trying to drag you to hell. So the devil on your shoulder is very, like, base level. Like, that's a smoking, drinking, fucking partying, you know, doing drugs, all that bullshit. And your higher self is like sobriety, you know, getting to the next level, where you don't have to work for things work for you, because things are just flowing to you like water. And the devil on your shoulder will try to convince you that it's the angel on your shoulder. So if you're trying to, like, quit a bad habit, right? So if you're trying to quit smoking, and here comes the justification, like, you done already fucked up today, because you said you wasn't gonna smoke no more cigarettes. And then the devil on your shoulder will be like, well, just one more won't hurt. It'd be that justification bullshit, and it'll make you think that it's the angel on your shoulder, but it wants to keep you down. Like, your lower self doesn't want to see you achieve what your higher self knows you can achieve. And this is something I'm struggling with right now. Matter of fact, I wrote a poem about that yesterday. I wrote a poem. I had to turn my TV on. And when I tell you that I can take inspiration from anything, I can take inspiration from anything. I guess there's this movie called Civil War, and it just popped up on my Roku. I wasn't even watching it. I had just turned my TV on. And I was like, that's how I feel. It's like, when you are at a civil war with yourself, like, whose side are you even on? Because you always supposed to be on your side, but what happens when you cleave yourself in two, right? So, I'm about to read that one. What side do you support in your ongoing personal civil war? Where do you find yourself? On the front lines prepping a claymore? Where do you send troops when you've been cleaved in two? Who do you take orders from? What do you do? The lines in the sand have clearly been drawn. Sinners siphoning sangria, veins of earth being bled upon. It's time to pick a side. No longer can you hide in your castles in the sky, watching as the world passes by, consumed by the nothingness inside. No luck dragons can you fly. This is not a fairy tale. Do you want to die? You're just standing there. Let it be known that your indecision, inequality, ineffable, inexpressible, reprehensible, nonsensical, incomprehensible, incompatible, unadaptable, self-sabbatical led to the shot heard around the world, and then it killed this girl. And so that's how I be feeling sometimes, because I know that right now and recently I've been making certain decisions that are blocking me from elevating to the next level in life. And I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what I need to do to fix it. And it's like, God damn, it's like this obstacle course got me in a chokehold. And it's another analogy that I use a lot. So if you have an obstacle in life, right? You come upon an obstacle, what you gonna do, right? Are you going to let it stop you? or you're going to find a way to get through it. You're going to find a way to get through it, right? That's why it's called an obstacle course. An obstacle is not meant to stop you. It's supposed to be something that you are supposed to overcome it. And I know what obstacle I've been working on. I've been working on it for over a year. And I feel like every time I go through this damn obstacle course, I get stuck. And I know exactly what I need to do to fix it. But this blockage in my mind, again, my lower self telling me, well, we'll do it next time, or we'll handle it next month, or we'll, like, again, it's that two sides of yourself that are trying to draw you in two different directions. Ooh, I got another good one. I got a good one that I have a good one that describes exactly what I'm talking about. The first or the fourth. This is a good one. It reminds me of that too. Feels like I'm playing an invisible game of tug of war. Compass is showing me 4 directions and they all say north. Is it the first or the fourth? How do you know the right way to go? How do you follow the straight and narrow when your signpost missing the arrow? It's like blood missing the marrow. Like wings missing from a sparrow. Like a wheel without a barrel. Like a millionaire with no dinero. The devil recruiting like a soldier. Invested in my life like a stockholder. But I give him the cold shoulder. Because evil's in the eye of the beholder. And I see a fire about to smolder. So, anything I do, even the bullshit, even the shit I'm going through right now, I take it and I draw inspiration from it. I'll take some bullshit that I'm going through in life and turn it into a masterpiece and be like, here you go. And then I feel compelled to share it with other people, because one thing I know about my writing, it's relatable as fuck. And everybody always tells me, like, you sound like a rapper. Do you go up to the studio? I certainly do not. Like, I can't even imagine little old me trying to go to the studio and write a beat. No, thank you. Nah, rappers sound like me. Because, I mean, wordplay is what I do. It's just my flow, the way that I sound. I understand why people say that, but I do not, nor have I ever considered myself to be a rapper. I am a poet. I am a wordsmith. You can call me a wordsmith. You know, the first time I performed, because I also do, I go compete in poetry slams. I live in New York City. I live in Brooklyn. And I go to the city, Manhattan, the Bowery, and I'll compete in a poetry slam. And the first time I ever did that, somebody told me, they're like, you're a wordsmith. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Like, I love that other people see that as well. Because, damn, where'd my shit go? I lost something. Because that's what I consider myself. Because I have an uncanny ability to take words and twist them. I call it remixing reality, like, you know, like Neo does in the Matrix. Like, I can remix reality. I can take any turn of phrase, give it a different spin, and send it away. Like anything. I take common sayings and idioms and phrases, like, and I'll just take everything I know about it and put a different spin on it. Like, one thing I talk about a lot is cats, right? And you know the saying, curiosity killed the cat. Well, some people don't know that the entire saying is curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back, right? But in one of my poems, I said, curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction didn't bring it back. Used up your ninth life going tit for tat. And see, that's just it. That to me is effortless, because, okay, so it's like, my brain is like, okay, cats, what do you know about cats? Curiosity killed cat, satisfaction brings it back. Oh, cats have 9 lives. Oh. And then it's like that. It's effortless for me to do something like that. And I know that it is a talent, because not everybody can do that. Like, there's a lot of things I can't do. My talent is not physical. You know, my physical talent is laying in bed all day. Like, ever since I got hurt, you know, I talk about my physical ailments a lot. And that's why I say I don't work for things. Things work for me, because I don't work no more. I ain't worked in a few years, and I wouldn't want to, even if I could. Like, who wants to work? Who wants to work a 9 to 5? Like, you telling me that if you had the opportunity, that's what you would be doing? You telling me you wouldn't be doing something else? And I'm restricted a lot by what I can do physically, but what's not restricted is my mind. It's like my body might be restricted, but my mind is not. And I feel like, so you know how, like, if somebody is blind, or they have a loss of one of their senses, and their other senses tend to make up for it. Like, they can hear better, and really they don't have hearing that's any better than anyone else. They have just trained their senses to compensate for the lack of one. So I look at it like that. I'm training my brain to compensate for what my body can no longer do. Does that make sense? It makes a lot of sense to me. Because my body can no longer do certain things, you know. My body hurts all the time, you know. I have numerous issues. I'm on disability. But ain't nobody getting rich on motherfucking disability. I tell you that right now. Like, I make for a whole month in disability what I used to make in like a week. Disability is a joke. If you want me to be honest about it, disability is a joke, because they pay you a percentage of what you used to make. And not only are you now prohibited from working because your body won't allow you to, they want to feed you scraps, which is some bullshit, because I've been working since I was 14. First job I ever had, I used to work at my school. So because I grew up on the reservation, they had this travel program that allowed the students to work at the school. Like, during the school year, I would work in the mornings. I would work in the library. So I was a librarian. I was also the school receptionist, like the front desk person. And looking back, it's crazy that a 14-year-old in charge of school. But I worked for damn near 20-something fucking years. You know, I did a bid. I put in my time. And I don't even know how much money that I paid in Social Security, but I'm sure it's a hell of a lot more than they're paying me. It's like how if you, I mean, it's an insurance program. It's like any other insurance program where, all right, so if you got insurance, like car insurance, right? And you pay a premium for that. They don't call it a premium for nothing. I say you pay $500 a month or some dumb shit. You know, they tried to quote me for $800 a month when I was thinking about getting a car up here. So let's say you pay $800 a month. And then when the time comes to use it, you only get back pennies out of what you've paid in. And it's like that. And it's like a scam. The government is a scam. Insurance is a scam. All this shit is a scam. And we ain't got no choice but to fall for it, because who's going to overthrow the government? And the ones that could try are just going to get killed. Like, the government, the people in power are going to do anything to maintain that power. They ain't going to let that go. And that's how it's always been. That's how it's been throughout human history. It's like there's the haves and the have-nots. The have-nots. The ones in power are never going to give up that power. That's why, like, if you see, it'll be certain families that have been influential and, you know, have been rich and famous for generations, because they're not willing to give up that power. Once you have built generational wealth, you know, and in this world, you know, knowledge is power, but money is power. Money is a tool that you can use to get what you need, because we live in the third dimension. We live in a material world, and I'm a material girl. You know, people love to talk about overconsumption now and how everything is just destined for the landfill, and to a certain extent I agree with that. But we are living in a material world. What else are we gonna do if not, you know, we're going to use the exploits of the material world, because that's where we live. You know, you can't not be materialistic. You can't not use materials. Like, you know, everything, there's materials all around you, you know, be it the clothes that are on your back, the makeup on your face, you know, the $50 Stanley cup that you got. So everything in this world is a material, and of course we're going to use it. I be going off on tangents. My brain, see, this is how my train of thought works. It'll be like this train and that train, and it'll be like the D train and the Q train, and then all the trains be doing this number right here. So yeah, I started talking about men, and now I'm talking about how the world works. But yeah, that's I lost my train of thought just now. So I am trying to be more in my whimsical area. I know the internet hates the word whimsy right now. I guess because they think it's overused, but so I'm trying to be more crafty. I'm trying to get back into doing crafts and stuff. I used to do them a lot when I was younger. Like, I used to do scrapbooking, and that's not my thing anymore, because as much as you can see me on camera on here, I'm not big on taking pictures of myself, which is kind of ironic. Like, I'll take a video of myself, sure, but pictures not so much. Like, I got my journal, I got new, so I've always been a sticker head. I've always been obsessed with stickers. Just recently went to visit family. I got a new Care Bear stickers book. So I've always been a sticker fiend since I was a kid. I have a whole, this is just one example. I have lots of stickers. Care Bears, Hello Kitty. I have lots of stickers. Oh my god, I'm making a mess. Now I'm dropping everything. And then I got some new washi tape. So yeah, I'm trying to get back into my era of whimsy and get more crafty. I saw this thing. It's like it's called a scratch art pad, and you literally just, like, the image is already there. It just has this little stylus, and then you scratch the image off, and it takes a lot longer than you would think it would. They have like bigger ones, and I was gonna get the bigger one, but I ended up just getting this one, and it takes a while, and then this black stuff will get on your shirt. I found out the hard way, because I'm like, where does it all go? Because I'm dumb sometimes. And then I looked down at my shirt, and I was like, oh, that's where it all goes. And like I said, I got my journal, so I want to put some, probably going to decorate like the inner pages and stuff with stickers, because why not? Because I am an adult that is a child that's kind of an adult. Like, I love stuff like this, like little notepads and stuff. Even, and I can tell you how many times I didn't use this. None. But I like the idea that it's there for when I use it. I will buy shit like this just because it's cute, and then use it hardly ever. But it's there. I look at it like it's there for when I need it. But yeah, I'm trying to get more into my crafting phase. I don't know if y'all remember these things called rub-on transfers, where it's like, so basically the idea is the same. You have used that little like stylus, the wood stylus, and it's almost like a sticker, but you take it and you rub it on a substance. And I want to get some of those. So I'm trying to get more in like just a crafty headspace, just because I do have so much time on my hands, and most of the time I'm here in my room, and there's only so much TV you can watch, you know? I get bored, and I do write. I don't write enough, but writing is one of these things that it takes a lot of brain power. Like, I will write something, and especially if it's something that I'm pushing myself on, something that is very challenging, like, I will I'll be exhausted afterwards. Like, brain power actually uses up bodily energy. Like, I remember when I was 16, I took the SATs. Waste of time. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. But I took the SATs because I thought I was going to be this college bitch and not a college dropout. But I took the fucking SATs. And then, like, it took me 2 days to recover from that. My body was so exhausted. So it's like, your brain definitely runs on bodily energy. Okay, so to give you an example of something that took a lot of brain power, where did it go? Okay, so you know that thing called the phonetic alphabet, like A for Alpha, B for Bravo. Well, I made up my own because I can never remember, and anytime I talk to somebody on the phone, especially because I have a southern accent, they don't always understand me. And so I'll be like, yeah, A like apocalyptic, B like banshee. So I made an entire phonetic alphabet. Okay, so I'll read that first. Apocalyptic, banshee, cheetah, dinosaur, elephant, frog, gargantuan, heroic, intelligent, jovial, kind, lamentations, mighty, nasty, ovation, perspicacious, queenly, ravishing, sultry, tetanus, uvulas, vivacious, watermelon, xylophone, yeshiva, zoologist. So it was literally just 26, the first 26 words that came to my head, right? And then the next day I was looking at it and I was like, I'm gonna write a poem about that. And it was incredibly difficult. Probably the most difficult poem I've written. But I like to push myself. I like to challenge myself. I am fucking hot. Oh, my fan was on. That's why. So I was like, how am I going to take 26 random words and turn it into a poem? And because the first word was apocalyptic, I was like, okay, let's do a poem about the apocalypse. And it's hard to just take it. I don't think people appreciate the skill it takes to just take random words and incorporate them into a theme. And it took me a couple of hours to do it, but I did. I'm not a freestyle person. Like, I'm a writer. Everything that I think about, like, I have to write it down or I'll forget it immediately. But so, like, the way I started, I said, apocalyptic ashes raining down from the sulfurous sky. Banshee wails still prevail, breaking sound barriers flying by. Cheetah speed won't help you escape. You're done, son. Goodbye. Dinosaur like fossils. The crowd was colossal. Now the apple of no one's eye. Elephant us protrude through the dust. How I wish it was a lie. Frog legs no longer leap, laying in heat. Couldn't hurt a fly. Gargantuan guy. You see how I did that? Gargantuan gargoyles silently stand sentinel, watching over a city that died. So that's all. I don't feel like reading the whole thing because it's long. But I just took all these words and then somehow I just transformed them into something else. And it was fucking hard. It was so hard. And my brain hurt afterwards. So that's what I'm saying. Like, even though you use brain power, it runs off your physical energy. And if I am tired, if I'm not, well, which I'm always tired, but if I'm exhausted, I guess I could say, then if I'm exhausted, then I don't even have the brain power to write, because it's like literally transmuting. It's like a brain baby. You're taking something that didn't exist in the world before and creating it. It's like, basically, it's like, look what my brain made. And instead of like an artist, showing a painting, because that's not my medium, it's, poetry has always been my medium. It's easy for me. I rhyme in my head. It's how I naturally, like, my poems are basically an extension of the way I think. Like, this will be how I think in my head. I'll say certain things in my head, and like the first line of every poem will just be something I'm thinking about, and I'll be like, "Oh, that was a bar." Like, I got bars like a Kit Kat, I'm telling you. But it sometimes it feels like it's like a gift and a curse, because it is I don't always want to write, but sometimes I feel compelled to. You know, I did not want to. I'm not a people person. Like, and if you see me in public, like in reality, I I mind my business. I don't talk to people. I like other people are non-player characters in my video game. I always have sunglasses on and AirPods in. Like I am a person who enjoys my solitude. And then for me to be somebody who is also diametrically opposed to that, being that I I feel compelled to not only write but to share it with people, to get on here and share it, to get up on stage and share it with the world. Like I got my stage name is right here, Wild Fury. That's who I am. I would never put my government name on myself. I used to make fun of people who did that. I would be like, are you just gonna wake up one day and forget your name? Like, why would you put your government name on yourself? That's a little crazy to me, but hey, to each their own. But this, and it's because it's like, so the letters are like, they're supposed to be lava. I don't know how you could tell. And then, so let's do a tattoo tour, I guess. Oh my God, I'm dropping stuff. And then, so we got flames, and then on this side, so this is my dragon that's like an Ouroboros, and then also it's like on the inside is like hourglass sand, so it's like you either got a lot of time or you're almost out of time. And so time is something that I also talk about a lot, and this is one of my favorite lines that I've ever written that I got on there. Time waits for no man, so I follow suit. And that's just a reminder not to wait, not just for a man, but for anything or anybody. If time doesn't wait for you, why should I? I'm not about to wait, because waiting is stagnation, and stagnation is death. Wait for what? You know, time doesn't wait. That's just a reminder. Time doesn't wait for you. Why should I? I recently just got another quote tattooed on myself from another poem. Because this is more like a lunar planetary theme. I got all the planets right here. I have this is like that's like the mother, maiden, and crone. This is the, you know, the tree, the moon phases again. But this says, howling at the moon I see, libations in my lunacy. And so I felt like that fit, and I want to get like a little, like a wolf right here, and then I think this sleeve will be complete. So I look at my tattoos like they're like spiritual armor. I have a lot of tattoos. My mom hates it. I was raised Mormon, so my mother hates my tattoos. And I recently found out, she said that I have so many tattoos, she's uncomfortable being in public with me. Well, don't go in public with me then. I don't even live with my mama. My mama lives in South Carolina. All my family lives in South Carolina. And I live a million miles away, and I love it. There's no chance of me running into somebody I don't want to see at Walmart. Not that we even have Walmart here. But I love that people live at a distance from me, because I just am that person that requires solitude. And I used to be such a people person. Like, I used to be able to speak like this to people out in public. And now I can't. I don't have the energy for it. I don't have the physical energy. I don't have the mental energy for it. And usually if people aren't on the same wavelength, if people aren't on the same frequency as me, then the conversation drains me. And so that's why I say, if you're not stimulating me, you're simulating me. And what I mean by that is, it's like, you know how everybody has fake conversations and they talk about the weather, and they'll be like, hi, how you doing? And you're like, fine, how are you? And because, you know, these are all just pleasantries and platitudes that everybody throws about. Like, I've gotten to the point where I don't even say hello to people, because that's just energy I'm giving away, and I'm not getting anything in return. So it's like, it leaves me at a deficit. It leaves me drained. So now I'm being more intentional about who I give my energy to. And if you're watching right now, you just happen to be, you know, a recipient of it. But I am being way more intentional about who gets my energy and my time. And you know, your energy is a finite resource. You only have so much of it. And you know, that's why I say people are like energy vampires. People will steal your energy. And I've noticed that a lot of people are like that. That's why, like, I went on a trip recently. I went and saw family, friends, and I came back and cut just about everybody off. I'm like, you know what? Y'all are just draining me. We're not on the same wavelength. We're not on the same frequency. You're just bringing me down. And sometimes you just have to cut people off. And so this is my words to live by right now. It's a beautiful day to leave me alone. Yes, it is. It's a beautiful day to leave me alone. Because I don't have it for people anymore. And I thought that I could go back down there and pretend to be a normal, sociable person. And the whole time I was there, I just craved this. I craved my solitude. And it's like, you know, sometimes the caterpillar has to go into a cocoon to emerge and be a butterfly. That's where I feel like I'm at right now. So I'm about to go on a cleanse. I'm about to be, you know, my birthday's in a couple weeks. I'm not about to start this next year doing the same bullshit I've been doing. You know, if you want to make changes, you want to see changes, you have to make changes. You know, you can't expect to see results when you're doing the same thing that you know hasn't been working. So that's where I'm at. I'm at a point where I'm making changes in my life. You know, I'm in my little cocoon right now. And then I'm gonna pop back out and people are like, damn, where the fuck this bitch been? Yeah. Y'all don't wanna know. Went into the void. But sometimes the best thing you can do is be alone. And a lot of people don't know how to be alone. A lot of people have to be surrounded by people. They find comfort in other people's company. And I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but what are they really giving you? Unless they are helping you progress to the next level in life, you're just, you know, it's like a leech. Like they're just, you know, draining your energy and you're letting them because you can't be alone. So you either are in a shitty relationship with somebody who you know is no good for you, but you can't let them go because the thought of being alone is too much. Or you just, like I said, a lot of people don't know how to be alone. And my problem is I'm too good at it, you know. Like my mom was telling me that my brother has these problems and he's, you know, I'm alone by choice and he's not. My brother's an incel. I hate to say it, but my brother is an incel. And, you know, there's this fucking supposed male loneliness epidemic. Men are lonely because basically everything I was talking about. I don't want to go back into that again. But I know how to be alone. And not only do I know how, but I enjoy it. And so those few times that I do pop out, it'll be like, oh shit, where you been? It's like I'll be gone for so long and out of the public eye for so long. Then when I pop back out, they'll be like, damn bitch, I thought you was dead. Yeah, I did die. The old me died. R.I.P. me. It's a whole new bitch up in here. And the way I feel lately is like the people I've been around are trying to drag me back to the person that I was 3 people ago. You know, I've evolved way past where I was when I was cool with this person. And now I'm up here and they still down here. And instead of me bringing them up, they just trying to bring me down. So, you know, if you tandem climbing with somebody and they are just a dead weight, what are you going to do? You going to let them pull you off the mountain and y'all going to both die? Or are you going to snip, snip, snip? So that's where I'm at. I done cut everybody off. Not that there was a long list of people to cut off. I mean, it was like 2 people. But really, there was only 3 people I talked to. So 2 of them didn't make the cut, and one of them was my mama. I didn't cut my mama off completely, but I did rein back our relationship because my mama got to the point of just wanting too much from me and wanting to be on the phone every day to talk about nothing. I think about that line that's in like a 50 Cent song. He's like, you know, my granddad said, you'll go as far in life as the people